When we think of being thankful, we must be thankful to a holy God who knows our hearts and our minds, and realize that we cannot be cynical about this attitude of thanksgiving. Good morning. This is Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Tuesday. Have you ever seen a child who receives some gift from another person and their parent prompts them quickly, "What do you say now?" It really seems kind of empty when you have to remind them to say thank you. There are also those who don't understand being thankful to God with a humble heart. We can read about one of them in Luke chapter 18 and verse 11, and his prayer before the Lord that doesn't really seem that genuine. It says, "The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, 'God, I thank you that I am not like other men, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this tax collector here. I fast twice in a week. I give tithes of all that I possess.'" We realize that a truly thankful heart will also show a measure of humility. Although this Pharisee is saying, "God, I thank you," his entire prayer is just a list of all the things that he prides himself in, with this arrogant judgment of others around him. He begins by saying, "I'm thankful I'm not like other men." And that in itself could have been a sincere testimony of the work of God in his life. I mean, I don't know about you, but I am thankful today that I am not like other men who are addicted to some substance, or perhaps in prison today, rotting because they broke the law. That certainly could be me, but for the supernatural grace of God that is working in my life. He describes those that are extortioners, unjust, adulterers, even tax collectors. We must really be careful when it comes to judging others for their lifestyle or even their practices. The Bible says all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Then this Pharisee begins to describe his righteous acts before God as though God had not noticed what he was doing. "I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess." Is this example really showing a thankful heart before a holy and merciful God? But notice the prayer of the publican that the Pharisee has already used for his comparison here. First of all, he won't even raise his eyes as if looking up into the face of God, but he smotes his breast as though he is punishing himself for his sinfulness. And he prays, "God, be merciful to me, a sinner." He recognized how he looked through the eyes of a holy and eternal God who is actually the true judge of each of us. So does God appreciate the thanks that the Pharisee offers for his righteous life? Or does he see the humble heart of the one who begs for mercy in the midst of his sinfulness? See, Jesus tells us the publican went home justified rather than that righteous Pharisee. And Jesus went on to say, "Everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted." So today, when we give that prayer of thanks, let's humble ourselves before the Lord and be truly a thankful people.